Welcome back, everyone. It's Kirrok here. Welcome back to another episode, a Minecraft episode on the Minecraft Blockshire server. And for those of you who watched the last episode, I ended off on an epic fail with this build. I spent some time after I stopped recording that episode kind of figuring out the proper layout, and I've done that. And now the next step... Hi. The next step is to tear down about 80% of this building. This wall that's right in front of me, but only from this corner to this corner, is, I think, salvageable. We'll know once we do this. I don't know for sure if it's salvageable. Otherwise, the whole thing has to be redone. But the rest of the building has to come down. You'll see that those blocks that I have up at the top, they kind of indicate and mark out where my building should end when I build it up. So let's go up to the top real quick and show it off. Yeah, it was all a miscalculation to, and I built those towers in the background there in the right way, taking into account my shifting the wall in and shifting it back out, but this one I didn't, and that's what screwed me over. So yeah, here, let's go. Can we go? I went up the wrong way. Let's go down here. Ouch. Let's go up here. So what you're seeing here are different blocks that I've used to kind of indicate where things go. All the spruce planks indicate where I begin building the matriculations and battle mounts and all that stuff with 3 and 3. So gap of 3, build of 3. Gap of 3, build of 3. The oak planks represent where the wall that goes from level 131 to 139 should be. The trunk, the spruce trunk, represents the wall below that. So from the 107 level, which is the level at which the mountain was shaved down to, up to 131. So essentially, I need to break this all down. Now, this wall and this wall can potentially be salvaged, which is great. So I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait. When you guys see me come back, I'll probably do like a quick, like, fast montage of it being torn down and pulled apart. And then eventually we'll rebuild it back up and see how it looks. And it should work. Yeah. That's what happens when you don't stay in school, kids, and do your maths. And your English is... Just stay in school. man. Okay, so I'm going to say a few words to the kind viewers on YouTube.
Okay.
Give me a sec here. So we, when I say we, myself and Sumac, we demolished my building. It hurt. But we've started building the new building in the correct position or placement. We placed a bunch of sand on top of the spruce oak, what were they? Spruce oak trunks. And then we knocked the trunks out from under the sand. The sand had a chance to fall down, and that marked the spot where the wall goes. So now we're slowly bringing up or building up. Once we hit, what are we at now? Or what am I at? I'm at 115.
I'm
Once
at
we
116.
hit 116,
Yep.
yeah. Once we hit 131, that's the level where we shift out one block. And then from 131, we go up to 139, and we've reached the top of the building. And then I'm back to where I was. And as you can see from the wood planks up there, everything should match up with that pattern, allowing me to build in the matriculations, the crenellations, and all that stuff properly spaced out, correcting the mistake I made when I didn't quite calculate it properly. Let me eat some food. So that's where we're working on, or what we're working on, and that's where we're at. Check it out, guys. It's pretty awesome. And we were able to save that face, this face right here that I did, which is great because I can reference that to build the new face, which is going to go on this side. In a way, it's kind of good that we ended up doing this because it extended my building by a few blocks, like 4 or 5 blocks, which means this whole area now is a bigger kill zone, or, you know, we're going to have more murder holes at the top. Anyways. All right, so I'll see you guys in a few. Well, once we got this built up all the way to the top. Welcome back, everyone. It's Kirrok here again. And quickly, I'm just going to mention that the last clip you saw me in, the one where I'm wearing the toque, and today you see me with all this hair, that was recorded quite a while ago. Had to take a little hiatus. Needed to get myself in order. And now I'm all good, so we're going to keep on playing. And you can see before me, compared to the previous clip, that the gatehouse has been fully built up. It's not complete, but you can see, as I promised on the previous clip, that I would come back once it's all the way at the top. If I go over to the side, you'll see that I have that protrusion at the top section of the gatehouse, just like I do over there, which actually starts right where my crosshairs are on the tower. And those dark oak planks over there represent where the crenellations will be built. Now, everything is measured out properly. So if you recall, not too long ago, Sumac was here, and she helped me bring the whole building or the whole structure down. And the whole reason behind that was to resize the gatehouse in order to make the crenellations at the top work properly. I had made an error on my previous episode where I miscalculated, and then once it was complete, the whole thing didn't look proper at all. In fact, it wouldn't work out, where I have, 3 blocks and then a 3-block gap, then another 3 blocks and then another 3-block gap. Now it's all accurate like that. Ooh, it's getting dark. Things will start spawning, so you can actually see there's a 3-block gap, 3 blocks where the crenellation will be, 3-block gap. And that's important because once it's built up, I need it to look essentially like that. And it's all spaced out so that you have the little hole through which people can defend the tower with arrows or hot oil or, rocks. Let's go sleep. Where's my bed? I have a bed over here. So right now, I still have to put a set of stairs around that rim that you're seeing over there. In fact, you can see that I was able to preserve this wall here, so I didn't have to rebuild the actual portcullis. Did I say that right? I know FaZe was on me about that last time. I didn't have to bring that down. I didn't have to bring the doors down. And all I need to do now that the building is kind of whole and intact is reproduce that side over there on this side over here. Portcullis. 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 Yes. Every time he says it, he's like, God damn, Kirrok. How many times do I have to tell you? Sumac giggles. All right. So anyways, what I'm going to do next is I will put in each of the crenellations. I will start building that outside facade. And then I may bring you back when I have it partially built. And then, you know, quickly say, hey, this is my progress, guys. And then come back again when it's totally complete. And then at that point, I will end the episode, or this episode, which has been the longest running episode in the history of Kirrok Craft's channel. But I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Welcome back, everyone. All right, so we have finally completed, it's not fully finished, but we finally completed the ring all the way around the gatehouse. All the way around the gatehouse. It was tricky. I miscalculated again somewhere, somehow, and that made things really difficult to figure out. In fact, you can see that certain things aren't quite right. Not that, you know, if I don't show you, you probably wouldn't notice, but I want to show you the intricacies. So let's look at this side. You can see each of the crenellations popping up, which on the other side, I haven't finished the I think it's called matriculations, the parts that kind of arch down. But anyways, you can see the gaps between them as well. And if you look carefully, this gap is actually 1 block wider, and so is this gap. It's 1 block wider than the 2 center gaps. And that's where the miscalculation occurred. So I ended up realizing that I had to make it look symmetrical, but still eat up some of that space somewhere. And instead of making one of the actual crenellation, oh, sorry, the merlons, these are called merlons. Yes. Bigger. So I could have had 1 4 wide merlon in the middle and then 2 3 wide. That would make things look really bad. That would be like a sore thumb sticking out. It would just look off. Like this, yes, there are 2 spots that don't match another 2 spots, but because they're negative space, you don't really notice it. You don't see it. Your eye just sees a gap. And whether that gap is 1 extra block bigger or 1 extra block smaller, your brain doesn't really catch that because it's not looking at the negative space; it's looking at the actual merlons, right? Let's so the entire top perimeter of the gatehouse is complete. Let's go outside and look at it from outside. We're gonna fly down with the elytra, thanks to Sumac on the server. Oh God. I took a swim. But you can see that I have not done the outer edge. So see how that tower has those, you know, those archways and so on? You'll see that I have to still do that. I'm going to end up going on the scaffolding that you see all the way around and start putting that in. But because of the odd spacing, the archways or the arches that are going to be here supporting all that weight are not going to be uniform and the same exact size as what you see there. No, the 3 towers that I built are all the same. They all came out looking great. Because, I don't know, I mean, they were perfect. I calculated for them and they all worked. And then once I made one, I just duplicated the other. On this one, because I miscalculated, it's going to be a little bit of a finicky play, you know, sleight of hand kind of thing. So I'm going to have to bring, just like on the corner there, I'm going to have to bring it down here. Then on this inner corner, I have to bring it down there. On this inner corner, I have to bring it down there. And then that is going to become an archway. Basically, where each of the holes are, those holes that you see, 1, 2, and 3, they will be archways, just like that archway there. That one's a good one. And then I'm going to have to run all the way around on... Yeah, see, there's 3 holes on that side. So all the way around the bottom side and build all that in. So once I've done that, it will be complete. It'll be done, and what I'll do is I'll bring you guys in to take a look at it and see how it is. I think the place we're going to see the most The place we're going to see the most wonkiness in the way it's built is with those archways that we build and the actual support structures. But right now, it's just I'm at a point where it's just going to be a thing where I have to live with it. It's just whatever it is, it is. And I think that once it's fully done, I don't think it's going to look that bad. So I'm going to do that. Once I got that done, I'll bring you guys back to show you what it looks like. And then I think at that point, we will end this extremely long episode that I've been recording. Not very long for you, probably about the same length overall, but I've been recording this one since February. Welcome back, everyone, and here is the finished product. Finally, after all this time. For you, it's been a video over the last 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. For me, this has been months. But finally, we have a gatehouse that's complete, and that means the outer facade is done. Just like the other towers that are around, I don't have the roof of it or the different floors done, but mainly the outer shape as well as the top part of it is complete. And you can see it actually turned out pretty good. Look at that. It looks really nice. I actually thought, considering that I kind of messed up the calculation of the spacing of the actual Merlons up there twice and decided to kind of, tweak it to make it work, it actually turned out pretty good. I was hoping it wouldn't look bad, and it doesn't look bad. Even on the side is usually where you can see it most, or not usually, but it is where you can see the difference mostly. Let's head over here. So in order to keep the visual arch looking the same across all three arches, I had to shorten these guys. So you can tell that that is the right length, and then this is shorter, this is longer, like the other corner. So if you look over here, these are all equal lengths, and that was because on the towers, I actually did proper calculations and measurements. How about that? But here, even though I tweaked it a bit, it's not a noticeable thing, and it actually looks decent, and it looks like it's part of the design, which is great. That's what I was hoping for once I realized that I wouldn't tear the whole thing down a second time to get it to look proper. I tried to figure out whether I can work with it, and I was able to. So yeah, we had this door. This was actually the only part that we salvaged from the original build. And then once we had that, I reproduced it or duplicated it on this side. So there we go. And if you're wondering what that hump is, I think it actually adds a little bit. It wasn't intended to be there, but it adds a little to the face instead of being just one big flat wall. I might even go through it and add in... well, actually, we will be adding arrow slits, just like we did on that other wall. That wall down there, right there. There's arrow slits facing out. We will be putting arrow slits on it. So that's something that we'll do eventually when we start filling in the floors. But this is what that little hump kind of hides. It's the area where the gate in the portcullis, it travels through that stonework, and there are the chains that are hanging. And up on that floor there, I'm gonna see if I can figure out a way to make some big wheels that are supposed to be the cranks that you turn to get the chains to go up and the chains to go down, which in turn lift the portcullis up and down. We'll leave it in an open capacity now, and I believe it's tall enough that somebody can go through with a horse, which was the goal. But actually, let's go back on this side so you can see the other side is complete, totally complete as well. We'll go up to the top, and I'll show you the from the up top area what it looks like. There's the side, and you'll see the side here is basically built the same way as the opposite side, with the shorter support structure. Yeah, I'm actually very happy on how it turned out, considering all the setbacks I had with the miscalculation on the first time around, and now the second time around. But the miscalculation on the second time around wasn't as bad. As you can see, I made it work. But it added more time in the build. So if we're up here, This is the floor, the last floor before the roof. This is the floor where we are leaving the portal, and that I had originally popped it in and calculated where and which floor I wanted it on, in order to allow us to give me access to the Nether, and then Sumac. Whoa! I could have flown there. I believe Sumac was gracious enough to actually extend the rail to meet up with my base on the Nether side. So let's go up to the let's go up to, yeah, I sealed it off. Let's go up to the top, and the top from the inside you can see is set up properly. So we have crenellations, merlons, and then an area where we can shoot down arrows when people try to. Well, actually, those are facing inside the castle wall, so it would your forces would be concentrated more on this side, fighting off any enemies who are trying to make their way in. Right here, and right here. And once we do start putting the floors in, okay, that was not bad. I gotta eat something. Once we do start putting the floors in, I believe it will be not on this level, but on the level below, which is this level here. This will be totally sealed up with stone, and then we're going to have holes on the top here, which are known in a castle as murder holes in the gatehouse. Because the whole point is if an invading force tried to make their way in here, and let's say they got through this first door, this area is designed to be a choke point where all of the enemy forces would rush in, and then on this wall and on this wall you would have arrow slits and guards with, you know, ready aim, fire, bow and arrows, and they would cut them down. And then up top you'd have what are called, as I said, murder holes, where people would toss huge stones. I don't know, I guess they would do even like boiling oil or whatever, basically to kill the guys that get caught up inside this choke point. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy how it turned out. Took a little while, but we're there. Now that we've finished all the towers, as far as structures go, I have to still do the keep over there, as well as on this side I'm going to have, I believe, a tavern. On that side I'm going to have a blacksmith. Or maybe I can invert them. I don't know. I have to think about that. And then, of course, that in the main area here, we're going to have like a little square towns, little places where villagers can live. But I believe before we do any of that, I might concentrate my efforts on the keep, which is the house for the lord of the manor. It's denoted by this rectangular shape on the ground here, made of dirt. And then I think after that we will throw up the wall all the way around, which we've already started on this side. So we already have a pattern to follow, which should be pretty easy to go around. But anyways, that's it, and it's all done. Well, this is all done. So yeah, there you go, guys. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time. All right? Bye for now. That gate-looking thing is usually ahead of the doors. So even if, let's say, enemies bash this door down, then the guards in the tower would slam down the gates to hold them in place, and they would be trapped. And then on the sides here, we're going to have arrow slits, and then on the top, murder holes to kill them. So you'll notice that they are going through the material up to the top on both sides.